I didn't even get to this. In Kosovo, even the people the CIA brought in now want them out. So what did they do? They had the German troops, German intelligence, dress up like Serbs, and they had them over the weekend. This is Reuters, by the way. This is caught. They were caught. Because, see, now people are learning about this. The other UN troops caught them attacking the UN base, and they shot them up and wounded some and caught them. Rocket attacking, hand grenading, bombing NATO and UN bases. Now, why are they doing that? It took a day or two for that to come out that the German intelligence had staged that for NATO. But see, the NATO people on the NATO base don't know they're being attacked by their own people, so they could beef up troops to have a new crackdown in Kosovo. See, that's how it works. Why did one group of Denver cops dress up and attack other cops? And then we found out because the cops blew the whistle. They said, I don't appreciate the fact that cops came in here dressed up and attacked us. They didn't tell the cops they were attacking. That was Denver Post. See, everything is run like this. They're testing this. They're testing it, Shauna.
Yes. And
imagine knowing this all these years and people don't believe me. Imagine knowing the government isn't a government. It is a psycho group run by top psych warfare experts. And they're so smart. And they're so crazy, and they're so wicked, and they're so gung-ho. I mean, they are just, I mean, you talked about being around these mercs. You said they were so horrible. How were they?
They were awful. They were the scariest people I have ever come in contact with. You know, and I didn't believe that human beings could behave that way outside of a Hollywood film.
Well, as bad as what you saw, Halliburton and DynCorp out of Iraq, out of Eastern Europe, hundreds of thousands of women and children a year. That's mainstream headlines. Chicago Tribune, Reuters, all of it.
You know what else needs to be pointed out here, and I think that this is something that other people just don't freaking know, Alex, is that KBR, who I hate, also, they have nothing but slave labor. They have Indians and Filipinos that they import and pay them no money.
Now listen, a lot of those people were kidnapped. No, that was in the news. Hold on. I know we've got other callers. This is important. You saw slaves. I want to hear about this.
Big John. Big John. Every morning at the mine, you could see him arrive. He stood 6'6" and weighed 245, kind of broad at the shoulder and narrow at the hip. And everybody knew you didn't give no lip to Big John. Big John.
You know, they're proposing having military all over the streets of the United States to deal with terrorists and for domestic uprisings. And they're saying, oh, it's a new report out. We've never prepared for this, and we're not safe because of Katrina, which they, quote, stood down on purpose so they could then claim this, as I said they would. We need unlimited power. Not just the $1 trillion for the current defense budget, but another $1 trillion for the domestic spy force and the rest of it. I mean, it's just unspeakable. I want to go to Janice and Matt and Joe and a few others here, but finishing up, Shauna, you were talking about slave labor. I don't know if you're talking about slave wages, but in the case of Halliburton, it's admitted they actually bring kidnapped people out of Iraq and other countries to other nations where they run things like brick smelting facilities, metal smelting, and it says they are prisoners, literally just grabbed up. See, slavery's all still legal, folks. They just call it something else. Just like they catch you smoking marijuana, you become a slave for 5 years, and in a prison camp working, building license plates or doing telemarketing. Go ahead and finish up, though.
Okay, you have to hear this, because you can't make this shit up. That's the thing that's crazy.
Ma'am, I'm going to let you, please watch the language.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just freaking out. What happens is the Indian and Filipino people are recruited by some third party out of their country for this great job opportunity. They are charged a $5,000 fee, okay, in order to process and whatever and get the job. Basically, it's a bribe.
Yeah, that's like the women in Russia. They say you're going to be a model, and they kidnap them.
Right, and what they do is they bring them over, and they work them 16 hours a day in the laundry and the kitchen, cleaning the porta potties, whatever they're doing, and it's all happening right in front of the eyes of every American that's over there.
And then meanwhile, there's hardened Ugandan troops swaggering around with machine guns, and then you're not allowed to be on. Now, how are they treating you?
The Ugandans?
Yes.
Ugandans, well, they treated me like the entertainment. I'm a blonde, blue-eyed woman, so, I was exotic to them. They were very, They used it. They searched me even though I didn't profile, which I thought was very odd. They just used it as an opportunity to molest me. But the thing about the third country nationals, the Filipinos and the Indians, is that they're paid a wage of about $400 a month. But then they're charged rent, and they have to buy their own food.
Yeah, it's sharecropping, and then they can never even afford to get out of the base or leave.
Exactly. And they sign, ridiculous length contracts, like 12 years. It's just unbelievable. And then these people don't have enough money for soap. And what I used to have to do was, because they put them in their own separate camps. They have an Indian camp, they have a Filipino camp, and, we'd find, Indians dead in the lake all the time. They'd get murdered. But the thing is what I would do is I would take all the excess soap and toothpaste and stuff from the care packages that nobody wanted and bring them out to these camps, because these slaves are out there with nothing. And I mean nothing. Working 16 hours a day, cleaning porta potties.
Well, that's only one level. They take the Iraqi men as slaves to other third world nations, and they are physically slaves. No judge, no jury.
And anyone who does an uprising, do you know how many mass graves were uncovered when I was there? I mean, I never saw it anywhere on the news. They filtered our access over there, But I had access to some other stuff, some other news sources within the military because of my clearance. And these mass graves, thousands of people found. Come on.
There's over 1.5 million Iraqis dead since the liberation. Listen, I want you to call back again, but you should write down what you witnessed and what you saw in an article at prisonplanet.com. Will you promise to do that?
I will.
Thanks for the call. Thank you so much, and call back again. And then I would tell the great folks over at the prisonplanet.com forum, the great researchers, everything she's saying has independently been in the news, leaked out here, leaked out there. Under her article, post, or go ahead and create a section now, all the other articles with the videos of them shooting families for fun and laughing, playing Elvis music, the mercenaries, or running over people's cars with tanks, the troops, and laughing as the family cries, and bombing the sheep. Put all those videos up, but also put up all of the Chicago Tribune articles about physical slaves, sex slaves, post the articles about the mercenaries, the Latin American death squads, because that's an important section, and then we'll put a link to it on the main page of Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com in the next few days. But Shauna, don't screw around on that. Get that done. I just got time to talk to Janice. I'm sorry to Tom, Joe, Matt, Scott, because I want to play this most of this 30-minute Ron Paul speech before Dr. Corsi joins us. Before I go to Janice, Jesus, everything that lady was saying earlier, I have separately already seen in the news. It's just never made to be a big issue. Unbelievable stuff. You can't even imagine this would go on until you learn about it. It's so horrible. And it is a culture of evil by design, with the social engineers, the behavioral psychologists designing all of this. And they're bringing these troops back. 3, 4, 5 tours, totally brain dead, totally psychopathic, or they break down and commit suicide. But some of them like it. They're going to be cops. They're going to use mercenaries in America, foreign troops. There's no end. They're not joking around. They're going to take everything we've got. They're going to bankrupt the economy, and we've got a fight ahead of us. And you want to know who runs our government? Look at what they've done in Iraq and Serbia. Again, I should have talked about it all day long. It's up on PrisonPlanet.com, Infowars.net. Steve Watson did an article on it today. Very important. I should talk the whole show about that. But it's every day now. The Germans attacking NATO UN bases in Kosovo to blame it on the Serbs, on the Kosovans, as an excuse to bring in more control. Oh, we're being bombed. We need more troops. Folks, it's so bankrupt. I hope you'll go to prisonplanet.tv and get 5 months free. Share your passcode with folks to it. Download the films, burn them to disk, get them out to people. Folks are really waking up now. They're really listening right now. Please get a prisonplanet.tv membership, and your purchase also makes this show possible. Check out the 5-month free deal. And don't forget, Ted Anderson's also offering gold he bought at $710 an ounce or lower a week plus later when gold's over $815 today.